The stone stands on a windswept hillside in Shanxi province, China. It has stood there for over 1,300 years. It is 12 feet tall, carved from a single block of pale granite, and mounted on a carved stone tortoise base in the imperial tradition. Its face is completely blank. No name, no dates, no epitaph, no explanation of the life it marks. Other emperors of the Tang Dynasty are buried nearby, each with a stele bearing carved praise. Achievements listed, virtues catalogued, enemies deprecated. Theirs are the words of people who wanted to be remembered in a specific way. This stone has no words. The woman who ordered it made that choice herself. Her name was Wu Zhao, and she was the only woman in 4,000 years of Chinese history to rule as emperor. She was born around 624 AD to a merchant family in what is now Shanxi province. Her father had served the founder of the Tang Dynasty and been rewarded with a minor official title. It was a respectable background, not aristocratic. In imperial Tang China, this gap between respectable and aristocratic was not a minor inconvenience. It was a ceiling. At approximately 14 years old, she was selected for the imperial court of Emperor Taizong, the warrior emperor who had made the Tang Dynasty the dominant power in East Asia. She entered as a Kairen, the fifth of 9 concubine ranks, among the lowest with a formal designation. She would serve the emperor in the ways required of her rank and otherwise remain invisible. She did not remain invisible. No detailed account survives of exactly how she attracted Taizong's notice. What is recorded is that she was given the courtesy name Mei, charming, by the emperor himself. In a court of dozens of concubines, to be named by the emperor was to be seen. When Taizong died in 649, the rules were precise. Concubines who had not borne the emperor's children, and Wu Zhao had not, were required to shave their heads and retire to a Buddhist monastery. This was not punishment. It was protocol. The concubines of a dead emperor were bound to his soul. They belonged to the past, not the living court. Wu Zhao went to Ganye Temple. She shaved her head. She performed the rites. She was 25 years old. By every reasonable expectation, she would die there. But Taizong's 9th son, the new emperor Gaozong, had met Wu Zhao before his father died. He had not forgotten her. Within 2 years, she was summoned back to the imperial palace. The breach of protocol was serious enough that senior officials protested openly, citing the impropriety of a son taking his father's concubine. Gaozong overruled them. It was the first recorded instance of someone overruling an objection on her behalf. It would not be the last. Her rise after her return was methodical and total. Within years, she had displaced Gaozong's existing Empress Wang and a powerful senior consort to become the chief empress, the highest-ranking woman in the empire. The process involved accusations of infanticide leveled against the previous empress and consort. Accusations recorded in Tang histories, still debated by modern scholars. Whether the charges were true, fabricated, or somewhere between, the outcome was the same. By 655, Wu Zhao was Empress of the Tang Dynasty. She was 31 years old, and Gaozong's health was already beginning to fail. From the 660s onward, Emperor Gaozong suffered increasingly from headaches, dizziness, and failing vision. symptoms that left him periodically unable to govern. Empress Wu did not merely advise during these periods. She governed. She read state documents. She conducted foreign policy negotiations. She presided over military planning. Court officials directed their communication toward her office. Imperial decrees were reviewed in her chambers before they bore the emperor's seal. Gaozong himself, in recorded statements, acknowledged her political judgment as superior to his. Together, the Tang court referred to them as the Two Sages, acknowledging openly what had become unmistakable. There were two people making the decisions of one emperor. When Gaozong died in 683, the transition of power that followed was not a succession. It was the removal of a formality. Wu Chao had 4 sons. 2 of them became emperors of the Tang Dynasty. Neither remained emperor for long. Her first son to ascend, Emperor Zhongzong, was removed from the throne within weeks. He had attempted to appoint his father-in-law to a senior court position against his mother's explicit wishes. The appointment was not made. Zhongzong was exiled. The second son, Emperor Ruizong, proved more manageable. He reigned as a legal emperor while his mother issued the decisions of one. He received the officials. She set the agenda. For 7 years, China had an emperor whose primary political function was to legitimize the rule of the woman standing behind him. Then she ended that arrangement as well. On October 16th, 690 AD, Wu Chao did something with no precedent in the history of China. She declared herself emperor. Not empress, not empress dowager, not regent. Emperor, the title that had belonged exclusively to men for the entirety of Chinese recorded history. She founded a new dynasty and called it the Zhou. She took the reign title Shengshen, Holy Spirit. Her court scholars invented new Chinese characters specifically to describe her, because the existing language had no words adequate for what she was. She was 65 years old. She would rule for 15 years. Under her administration, the civil examination system, which selected government officials based on tested merit rather than aristocratic birth, was significantly expanded. She recruited actively from non-elite backgrounds. Roads were maintained. Agricultural policies were reformed. The empire did not collapse under a woman's rule. By several measures, it flourished. She was also ruthless. She kept networks of informants throughout the court. Officials who challenged her authority openly rarely survived to challenge it twice. She governed through competence and through fear in equal measure, and she made no apologies for either. In 705, a palace coup organized by loyalists of her son forced her abdication. She was 80 years old. She died later that year in a separate palace within the imperial complex. Her son restored the Tang dynasty. Her official posthumous title was reduced. The historians who wrote about her in the years after her death did not know what to do with a woman who had been, by most measurable criteria, an effective emperor. She had been too powerful to dismiss and too unauthorized to praise cleanly. So they did both, in alternating sentences, recording her achievements in one paragraph and her ruthlessness in the next, as if the contradiction itself explained something. She had anticipated all of this. Before she died, she left instructions for her tombstone to be left blank. For 13 centuries, scholars have debated what the blank stone means. Humility, an acknowledgement that no words could do justice to a life so without precedent. Contempt, a statement that she did not require anyone's inscription to justify what she had been. Or perhaps something simpler, an understanding that a stone with no words would be examined, puzzled over, and debated far longer than any epitaph she could have written. The stone is still blank. It is still there. History is still argued.